So this is my first attempt with the Xtra Atto using the new firmware so that I can connect the DJI Mic Mini. I've got it up on my seatbelt, up across my chest, got the Atto with its suction cup up on the windshield, and I'm really curious. Right now I've got noise reduction set to low, and it's maybe just to get rid of a little bit of the exhaust noise from my truck, or that droning sound whenever you're in a vehicle that does have a little bit of an exhaust on it. But I'm really curious to see how good that the audio sounds. Now, I do have the dead cat on there, and I guess that's just to help with maybe just a little bit of the rustling sound of the microphone being attached to my seatbelt. I could put it up on my visor, I guess, and I've got the audio gain turned down to -4, and just to see what it sounds like. Is it clear enough? It's got to be better than what the built-in microphone is. Now, the built-in microphone actually works really, really well on the Xtra Atto. But if you have it inside the truck, like I did a video where I had it inside the truck and I was trying to talk, and the drone noise, that level of droning that was inside my truck, it just really just canceled out my voice. So I'm just really curious, because this is really a nice little setup. And I am extremely glad that Xtra went ahead and activated the wireless connectivity to all of their cameras, not just the Atto, but the Sphra 360, the Xtra Muse, and the Xtra Edge Pro. They all now have the ability to take a $25 microphone like the DJI Mic Mini and wirelessly connect it to it. You have full controls over the audio in the menu system of the Atto. It's just really nice all the way around, because if you like to car vlog, and I'm not a car vlogger, I've done some in-vehicle videoing before on different video projects, and it was mostly for just a little bit of voiceover narration, or when I had another team member in my truck with me, and I could tilt the camera and aim it at both of us to where both of us were being seen. Or I even stuck a GoPro up on the other side of the windshield so that she could be seen. But yeah, having audio is so freaking important. It is much more important than video quality, I would say. You know, granted, 4K is the norm right now in 2026, where just a couple of years ago, 1080p was the standard. If you had 4K, that was really considered overkill. It's really only good if you're watching a movie at home on TV. But now 4K is kind of the standard for YouTube. And there's some people that are uploading to 6K, 8K, 10K, 12K. I think 8K may be the max that YouTube can deliver. But, 4K is now the standard. So video quality is there, no matter what camera brand it is that you're using. But having good audio. And when you have a wireless microphone connected to you, it's like, you see where it's at on me here. Where is it at? Right there. So it's up higher up on my seatbelt, closer to my throat chest area, but it should be able to give some really good, clean audio. And from the spoken word, if audio wasn't important, people wouldn't listen to audio casts or audio books, because audio is so important. And for some reason, if you're watching a video, let's say you're watching a video on your cell phone and you're in your vehicle, well, you can't really watch it because you got to pay attention to the road, but you can lay it down in a cup holder and you can listen to what the person's saying. And if the audio is good and clean, it makes it worthwhile to continue listening. So it's not just always the message, it's how clear is the message, because you can have a crappy message, but at least if the audio is clear, hey, that's a great thing. I will test out the different noise reduction levels here in just a moment. I'm picking up my daughter from school, so I've got to pay attention to the road. Got all the lights flashing everywhere. Got school buses in front of me. So, like I said, you know, if you've been on the fence about getting an Xtra product because you're worried about, well, it's a DJI knockoff, you know, I think it's 100% a DJI product from DJI under a new name because of the whole ban situation. And I don't want to get into politics because, you know what, politics is not my thing. And if a company delivers good products, and DJI delivers really, really good products, and they're outstanding, they are number one in the drone industry for a reason, because their technology and their engineering is so good. And look at cameras. I mean, you know, they've done a great job with cameras. So for them to get banned, and the US is such a large market for DJI, I don't see any problem with them doing what they got to do to stay in the US economy one way or another. So, yeah. Xtra Atto. Like it, small, compact. Like I said, it's up on my, let me take a little video. I'll show you exactly where it's at, because I will say the suction cup that comes with either the DJI Nano or this Xtra Atto, that little suction cup is really, really, really nice. Let me take a video right here of it. So that is it. Sticks on super, super easy. Yeah. Really, really easy. And the stabilization is great on the camera. So I don't see why more people aren't getting into this. You know, it's not that Insta360 doesn't make good products, because they do. It's just that, you know, hey, everybody offers something a little bit different. And Insta360, they came out with the original Go, which was groundbreaking when it first came out. And then it came out with the Go 3S, because the Go was only at 2.7K. Go 3S is at 4K. The Go Ultra, what a great camera. What a great camera. But it's a little bit larger. It's square shaped, but it's still very manageable as far as using it on a suction cup to stick it to a window, or to have it on your hat, or have it on your chest mount. You can do a lot of those things, and it works really, really well. So, I mean, whether this is white and it's called Xtra, or it's black and it's called the Nano from DJI, it doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't matter. It's about the image quality. And I know a lot of people say 10-bit is not that important. And I am very 50-50 on that, because it depends on your deliverable. And what I mean is, if you are shooting something for YouTube automatically takes a 10-bit video and delivers it at 8-bit. So when it's compressed down, and this bit is changed from 10-bit to 8-bit. So no matter what anybody tells you that, you know, 10-bit is so much better than 8-bit, yes, it is, but it depends on where you're putting it. Now, if you're giving it to a client and it's going on a TV commercial with a TV network, yeah, 10-bit is much better than 8-bit, especially when you start talking about color grading, because an 8-bit video, once you start pushing colors around, it just falls apart. You get massive banding. And when you have a 10-bit video file, you have a lot more latitude to push colors around. So in editing a 10-bit video, with, let's say, the Xtra Atto or the DJI Nano or the Action 5 Pro or the Action 6, you can do a lot more color grading. But like I said, when you put it up to YouTube, it's there. The only saving grace is whatever you've done color grading wise on a 10-bit video file, the fact that you don't have as much banding when you upload means the banding is going to be a lot less from a 10-bit video crushed down to 8-bit than a 8-bit video that's been color graded and put up. So yeah, something a little bit different for this channel. I haven't put anything on here in quite a while, and I thought, hey, this is a great way to sit there and talk about Xtra. And, you know, the Xtra Muse. I don't know where the Xtras come up with the names of some of this stuff. The Muse. Now, the Xtra Edge Pro, I can get that. Xtra Edge. The Sphra, okay, it makes a little bit of sense because it is spherical 360. The Atto, don't know. Maybe I have to look up the name Atto and see what its origins are. The Muse, don't know, that was a little bit different name, but you know what? It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, they perform just like a DJI product. And all of my reviews, whether it's the Xtra Edge Pro or the Muse or the Sphra or the Xtra Atto here, my one caveat that I've always said was, I wish that they had external audio capability. That was the one thing that really kept it from being a true DJI product. Now, of course, the Atto, it has a square lens cover instead of a round unscrewable one like on the Nano, where you could use ND filters and such. But, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Who knows? They may come out with a Atto 2 or an Atto Pro, or who knows what Xtra is going to be coming out with next. But I wonder if they're going to come out with an Action 6 knockoff or rebrand. So we have the Xtra Edge, which is like an Action 4. We have the Xtra Edge Pro, which is an Action 5 Pro. DJI has already come out with the Action 6, so we need to get a comparable camera to the 6, but what would they call it? Maybe the Xtra Edge Elite? That would be the 6? That kind of makes sense. I don't know. Don't know. But I will tell you, so far, I've really liked the Xtra products. You know, when they're on sale, it's enough of a sales price to where you say, oh, well, are they going to keep up with firmware updates? What's the quality going to be like? You know what? Now that they've done, this is the second firmware update on a couple of the Xtra cameras. And this is a big one to me. This is a big one. And since DJI just came out with the new firmware for the Nano, it makes me think, because that firmware offered, you can choose either 16:9, choose 9:16, or choose auto rotation. So depending on how you rotate the camera, that'll be the orientation of the final video. So, oh, and then they also added film tones. So they added film tones to the Nano, which means that they may add, Xtra may add some film tones to the Atto. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll add some different film tones. If you want to add one, add the orange and teal, because that's what I've got this video color graded in, is orange and teal. And to me, it looks good. I like the look of it. There's one thing about these new action cameras that you have to admit. Normally, when you're shooting inside a vehicle, everything outside is blown out because it's exposing for you here. inside the vehicle. And to lighten this up a little bit, it also blows out the highlights from outside. Action cameras nowadays, and I'll say it's very distinct with the DJI cameras, that you don't have to worry about that. Because as you can see, I'm exposed correctly, and you can still see colors outside of the windows and behind me and the trees behind me. And that's nice because now it gives you a little bit more of a professional camera feel, because action cameras were notorious for overexposing, depending on your shooting scenario. And if you're shooting inside of a vehicle, it would overexpose. So yeah. Wow, I've talked a while here. I don't know how long I've talked. Will this tell me? Tell me I've talked for 16 minutes. Wow. So one thing that they haven't fixed is the ability that when you've got the audio recording, like you see here now, there is no preview of the video screen. Maybe that's something that'll change. But then again, I also think it's probably better because once you got your framing down before you hit record, because you can look and make sure that you're framed correctly, but once you have your framing down before you hit record, you really don't need the screen anymore. So it'll help with battery life in the Vision dock. And because the Vision dock is basically a battery to help recharge the main camera unit. So yeah, hopefully the audio came out really good on this, and it's not clipped, and it's clear, and it sounds good, and the video looks good. But yeah, tell me down in the comment section, what do you think about the Xtra products? What's keeping you from buying an Xtra product? Is it because it's a new company that's come up? It's a company that you don't have any knowledge about? A company that you think that maybe the US will come back and go, oh, hey, DJI, you came out with the Xtra to try to be sneaky. We're going to get rid of the Xtra, and that there won't be any more support? I can tell you this. I've got the DJI Pocket 1, the original. And that DJI Pocket 1, the battery still works phenomenal. The camera still works phenomenal. Its one downfall was its field of view was really tight. You couldn't really use it as a vlogging camera, and that's why when the aftermarket came out with a wide-angle lens for the Pocket 1, that made it a lot more manageable. The colors weren't as good as what you get on the Pocket 3. I tell you what, I don't care what they do with the Pocket 4, but the Pocket 4 better be some kind of home freaking run, because the Pocket 3, in my opinion, even though, you have to be careful with it, you have to, because it's a lot more delicate than what a traditional action camera is. But I will tell you, the Pocket 3 is a cinematic little powerhouse. You can get some beautiful footage out of that camera. And it's probably why the thing is flown off the shelf right after it got released. And that's why the Xtra Muse is so popular, because it's a little bit of a savings. And now that they have wireless connectivity with the microphone, you get everything that DJI has to offer at a bit of a savings. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all, because if you can save $1 or $2 or $50 or $100, that matters in the long run, especially when they perform the same. Because the Pocket 3 in my side-by-side tests, the Pocket 3 and the Xtra Muse, identical. Image quality, identical. The Xtra Edge Pro and the Action 5 Pro, identical. I do not have the DJI 360, but I do have the Xtra Sphra 360. And from what I can see, it's identical to the DJI 360. So she should be getting ready to come out here in just a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But tell me, what's keeping you from buying Xtra? I mean, when you can save some money, I'm surprised, you know, and I know through my affiliate links on the main channel, I've sold a lot of Xtra products, a lot of them. So people are buying them, but I'm just surprised that they're not buying more of them, that there's not more videos on YouTube of people using Xtra cameras. That I'm a little bit surprised about, especially when you can save money. But anyway, so wait for the kiddo, go home, upload this video. I've got an out-of-town filming project that I've got to do. That's for 3 days. So different video. This is now 22 minutes. God, I've been a rambling fool. Too much coffee today. Anyway, that's it for me. Tell me about Xtra. You're going to get one? You ought to, because nothing holding you back now. Bye.